Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is BYDALESMITH. Thank you for joining. If you graduated from a college or university in Canada and you're confused about express entry, this video is for you. A lot of people just jump straight to CRS scores without even knowing if they're eligible to enter the pool. However, in this video, I'll be breaking down a very simple step-by-step checklist of everything you actually need before you enter the express entry pool. No immigration jargon, just clarity. And this is especially for international students currently on or off their postgraduate work permit. So, without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay guys, let's get into what express entry actually is. Note that express entry is not a visa. I repeat, it is not a visa. It is just a system Canada uses to rank people who want permanent residence under programs like Canadian Experience Class, Federal Skilled Worker, and Federal Skilled Trades. In this video, I'll be focusing on Canadian graduates because their pathway and requirements are a little bit different. So the first item on the checklist, a valid language test. Yes, this is number one and it's non-negotiable. You need a valid language test. For English, you can either do the IELTS or CELPIP. The IELTS academic doesn't count. Also, you need to make sure that your English test is less than 2 years old when you're submitting your express entry profile. And you cannot enter the pool without a language test, neither can you add it later on. So make sure that you have your English language test ready on the day you want to apply or enter the pool. Next is your Canadian education. If you graduated from a recognized college or university in Canada, you do not need an ECA for that credential. However, if you also want to claim a degree from outside of Canada, for example, bachelor's degree from your home country, you do need to get an ECA to verify that credential. An ECA is just an educational credential assessment, which just shows your degree is credible and you can use it for your express entry profile. So if you're one of the people that want to use your bachelor's degree from outside of Canada, you need to make sure that you get an ECA before you can enter the pool. Now, let's talk about work experience. This is where most people get confused. Most Canadian graduates apply for the express entry under the Canadian Experience class. That means you need at least 1 year of skilled work experience in Canada. It must be paid full-time or equivalent part-time and must also fall within the tier 0, 1, 2, 3 rule. Note that work done during school or while studying doesn't count towards this number of hours, and do not assume that it does. So when searching for a job or when you start to calculate your number of years before you apply for the express entry pool, make sure you're starting to count from the job that you did outside of school, which again must be full-time or equivalent part-time, and it must also be paid and within tier 0, 1, 2, 3 rules. Okay? Don't make that mistake. Another important item on the checklist is making sure you have your correct NOC or TEER code. This is not about your job title, it is about your job description. So if your duties do not match the NOC description, this experience may not count. This is your work experience, by the way. It may not count towards your CRS score or your express entry profile. So you want to make sure that whenever you're searching or you're imputing your duties for your job role, you're making sure that you're selecting the appropriate and the correct NOC code or TEER code that matches your job duties, and so this experience can count. This is a very important area and it's an area where most people get refused, so make sure that you're taking your time with it. Another item on the checklist is passport and personal details. So you want to make sure that you have a valid passport because your express entry profile cannot be valid longer than your passport. Let me break this down. So if you have a passport that is due to expire, say in a year time, and you just want to enter the express entry pool, you need to make sure that you go ahead to renew that passport, because when you're entering the pool, you do not know when you're going to be called on. You don't know when the CRS score is going to match what you have. So you don't want to just enter the pool with a passport that is just 1 year valid, and we don't want to find out what will happen in that case. So I would say that you should make sure that your passport is valid for a reasonable amount of time, usually longer than the time that you're going to be in the express entry pool, because your express entry profile is not going to be valid longer than your passport. I'm repeating that so that it makes sense to you. Also, you need personal details like basic information to be up to date, such as your address history. You might be in Canada, you might have moved from different places to different places. You need to make sure that you're able to put the addresses of these different places that you've lived in within Canada. You also need to be able to provide your education history, credential or whatnot, the education dates, the dates you finished your university, the dates you finished in college, etc. And lastly, you need to make sure that you're also putting in the appropriate work experience under your profile. So these are like personal details or basic information that will be asked during your express entry profile creation or when you're entering the pool. So you want to make sure that you have this information and it's accurate and well detailed when you're entering the profile. So to the last item on the checklist that I have for you today would be proof of funds. For proof of funds, it's really dependent on the pathway you're applying under. So if you're applying under the Canadian Experience class, you do not need proof of funds. However, if you're applying under the Federal Skilled Worker, you do need a proof of funds. Either way, make sure you find out what is specific to your own situation, if you're going to be needing proof of funds or not. So guys, that's all of the items that I have on my checklist. And once you have all this together and all this information correctly, then you can start worrying about your CRS score. And to just briefly dive into what CRS is short for Comprehensive Ranking System. And this is a system that Canada uses to rank candidates that are already in the express entry pool. So your score comes from a mixture of different things, which includes your age, your language test, your Canadian education, your Canadian work experience, your foreign education, and sometimes additional points can come from programs like PNP, which is Provincial Nominee Programs. Note that your CRS score is not necessarily permanent, except if you've ticked all the boxes and you're at the peak of everything. But usually your CRS score can change and in fact can also increase depending on the situation you're in. So for example, if you're a new graduate, if you just finished from school and you do not have any work experience yet, but you already have your language test or you've already taken your test or you have certain parts of this checklist that I've already given, when you put it in your CRS score, it might look somewhat really low. Do not panic, because usually when you then add your work experience, your 1 year work experience to it, your score goes higher. So it's just very different for different situations. Just make sure that whenever you're entering or you're calculating your CRS score, you look for areas where you can improve your scores. That is if your score is really low. Don't panic, just check. That's pretty much everything about the CRS. If you still need more information about CRS, how to calculate, or what you need to do to get this score, or how you can improve your CRS score, comment below and I'll be sure to answer or make a video for you. And yeah, thank you so much for sticking to the end of the video. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with somebody that needs it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.